Hi everyone, today we're going to be making some Mediterranean pasta. So the first ingredient in Mediterranean pasta is garbanzo beans, also known as chickpeas. Garbanzo beans have a lot of nutritional values. They have more protein than a 6-ounce serving of yogurt, and they have a lot of calcium too. So this goes in our bowl with our tomatoes, and tomatoes have a lot of potassium, vitamin A, and a lot of lycopene. Which is a really cool mineral that gives you a lot of nutritional benefits. And the redder a tomato is, the more lycopene it contains. And lycopene is especially important for males. So, garbanzo beans going in the bowl. So another ingredient in Mediterranean pasta is the zucchini. I've already sliced the zucchini in half lengthwise, and it has a whole bunch of seeds because it is a summer and spring squash. And to dice the zucchini, I'm going to make some cuts like this, lengthwise, and if you want, you can use the bridge technique, like so. Oops. Now, gather all the pieces together and just dice your zucchini. Now, zucchini has a whole bunch of nutritional benefits. It's got fiber, iron, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin B6. It's got, and there's so many more than those. Those are just to name a few. And they're super delicious and very versatile. You can put them in Asian food or in Mediterranean food. And so now, some of my zucchini pieces are like this. So if you want to, you can cut them in half like this to make them smaller. Sometimes I like my zucchini big, sometimes I like it small. So it depends on what you want for that day. Another ingredient in Mediterranean pasta is the red bell pepper, one of my favorite ingredients. It's got vitamins A, C, K, and B6, and it's low in calories. So this pepper is really mature, and it's the sweetest variety of the bell pepper. See, the bell pepper starts out as green, and as it gets more mature, it moves on to yellow, and then orange, and then red. And the more mature it gets, the sweeter it is. And so that's why red bell peppers are the most appetizing to eat raw, because they're a lot sweeter than kind of a bitter green pepper. So to slice a bell pepper, there are a lot of different ways to do it, but a cool way to do it is to thinly slice off the top. So a little bit of the stem comes off, and it looks like this. You can kind of see where the walls or the membrane is attached. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice through it so that the membrane kind of still stays on the pepper, like this. Oops. And then you can see all the seeds inside. So eventually, and then you cut off the bottom, you're just left with a big hunk of seeds. And then you don't have to de-seed the pepper and make a hole in it like you would cut out a pumpkin or something like that. So it's way easier to do it this way. And then you can easily get to the membrane, which is the white, the pinkish white stuff on the inside of the pepper. And then you can easily just tear that off with your fingers or take a knife and cut it off. So now, I'm going to take out all of the membrane and the seeds. And in a pepper, did you know that in spicy peppers, the membrane and the seeds are what makes it the spiciest? Not the actual flesh of the pepper, but the membrane is really important. So if you ever work with jalapenos and you don't like spiciness, take out all the membranes and the seeds and you will not have too much of a spicy pepper. So anyway, got my pepper, and I'm just going to slice it up. And then go through it with my knife to make some pepper chunks. And that is how you dice a pepper. Time to put in some pasta. I'm using farfalle, also commonly known as bow tie pasta. And we're going to put in a pound. 16 ounces. Then, once you have your pasta in, drizzle in a little bit of olive oil. And, of course, some salt. And you can put a little more than you think you need in here, because it's all just getting drained away, and it's adding some nice flavor. Get a spoon, stir it up, and then cook it according to the directions on the package. You want to make sure your pasta is nice and al dente, which means it's firm when you bite into it. So I'm going to go for 10 minutes, and then check it after that. And once the pasta is nice and cooked, we'll drain it. If you want to let it cool a little bit, you can. and then we'll mix it up with all of our other ingredients and have a delicious Mediterranean pasta. Now I'm making the dressing for our Mediterranean pasta. And Mediterranean pasta isn't like the traditional pasta with red sauce and vegetables. It's got raw vegetables with a salad dressing. So it's basically a pasta salad. So I started out with about a 1/4 cup of olive oil, just eyeball it. And now I'm going to get a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. That's about good. I'm just going to loosely leave the cap on just in case I need it again. And have to open up some red wine vinegar. Do about another teaspoon of that. A little bit more. And then, when I make salad dressing, sometimes I use a whisk in a metal bowl. And sometimes I use my favorite method, which is the shaking method, where you put everything in a Tupperware container, put the lid on so it's nice and secure, and then shake it all up so you don't have the danger of oil flying all over your clothes, because that would ruin them. So then I also need about 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. So you can shake it into your hand or straight into the container. And then, and of course, a little bit of salt and pepper, which is right here. And then, now, shake it up and give it a taste. Good. The pasta is done. I've got all my other ingredients ready to go in. So this is about 2 large handfuls of Italian flat leaf parsley. It is optional, so if you really don't like parsley, you don't have to put it in. But it really adds another Mediterranean flavor. And parsley is just such a great herb. Good enough. Wash my hands a little bit. And now, feta cheese. Feta cheese is made with sheep's milk, so you can eat it if you're lactose intolerant, and it's super delicious, and it's commonly used in Mediterranean food. So this is a 4-ounce block that I crumbled up, and yummy. As my mom and I say, everything's better with feta. And now, the dressing, which is a combination of olive oil, balsamic vinegar, red wine vinegar, oregano, salt, and pepper. And then I'll just mix this up, and that's pretty much how you make Mediterranean pasta. Mediterranean pasta is so good. So this is a really great dish. It can be eaten warm or cold. You can put it in your school lunch. It's great for entertaining or for just a simple picnic. It's great for vegetarian and lactose intolerant because feta cheese is made with sheep's milk. And it's got a whole bunch of vitamins and nutrients in all of the vegetables and other beans and other things that we have in this dish. So I highly recommend making this for dinner.